In our first game of this National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Men's National Basketball Tournament, the Central College Tigers come in with a 21-8 record, while the Scouts out of Penn Valley come in with a 21-11 record. And Bob Kay, as these two teams match up, Central College comes in here with two players averaging in double figures. Those two players are James Nelson with a 13 points per game average and Mark Oliver at 14 points per game. On the other hand, Penn Valley comes in with four players in double-figure averages.
Yes, I wrote down some things that I think we're going to see in the tournament, and you hit on a couple of them right there. I'll bet before this tournament's over, we're into the 4 minutes before the first game. Before this is over, we'll see a lot of speed. As we watched the teams practice yesterday, there's a lot of quickness in these teams. We'll see a lot of turnovers because of that quickness. We'll see a lot of dunks, I'm sure, if they get the chance, and we'll see a lot of pressure defenses. And when you have pressure defenses and when you're playing a fast, up-paced game, you're going to get 4 or maybe 5 guys in double figures because you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on. From what I saw yesterday, and I know a lot of these teams play defense, I think we'll see a lot of high-scoring games, Scott.
Well, and yet this may be the one exception. Both of these teams play a very hardcore, disciplined game of basketball.
Well, they do, but I think if they play half-court traps and they steal the ball a lot and there's turnovers, I think there'll be a lot of baskets off the turnovers. Then somebody gets behind and they got to play. I look for scores to be in the 80 and 70 range. Maybe that's not high in junior college. I don't think we're going to see that 179 that we saw that one team had, but I think we'll see a lot of high scoring, high 80s, high 70s, a lot of good basketball.
All right, let's take a 2-minute break here on the network. When we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups as well as our national anthem for game number 1 of the National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Men's National Basketball Tournament between Penn Valley Community College and Central College. You're listening to the National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Men's Basketball National Tournament Radio Network. At Penn Valley for 29 years, while Mike Beard has been in Central for 5 years. So it'll be a little bit experience versus some youth.
Scott, Fred Pullman is the 16th winningest coach in NJCAA active coaches right now, 29th overall with a 517 win, 360 loss. He's the 16th winningest coach right now in the junior college bracket.
And we're getting set for our first game between Penn Valley and Central College. And to bring us our national anthem and our starting lineups, let's go to our public address announcer, Mr. Jim Bryant.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first quarterfinal game of the 1996 NJCAA Division II Men's National Basketball Tournament. Before we announce the starting lineups, will everybody please stand for the playing of our national anthem. The starting lineups for today's first quarterfinal game between Penn Valley Community College and Central College. Starting lineups for today's game: at one guard, number 10, a 5'9" senior, Dwayne West. At another guard, number 20, a 6'1" guard, Steve Ray. At a forward position, number 34, 6 foot, a senior, Rolando Pitts. At another forward position, number 45, a 6'1" senior, Chris Harris. And at center, number 52, a 6'8" forward, John Green. Penn Valley is coached by Mr. Fred Pullman. Now let's meet the starting lineups for Central College from McPherson, Kansas. At one guard, number 10, a 6-foot sophomore, B.J. Bedford. At another guard, number 14, a 6'3" freshman, Corey Dumford. At a forward, a 6'8" freshman, number 44, James Nelson. At another forward, number 52, a 6'5" freshman, Mark Oliver. And at center, number 35, a 6'5" freshman, Landon Rowe. Central College is coached by Mr. Mike Beard.
And our thanks to our public address announcer, Mr. Jim Bryan, as we get set for this first game. What is also interesting are the different routes in which these teams took to get here, Bob Kay, and the different stories behind the schools. Central College is easily the school with the lowest enrollment in their entire school. They have only 325 students.
Well, they're out in the middle of, well, not really in the middle of Kansas. When I was at William Jewell College in Liberty, Missouri, right outside of Kansas City, we used to play a good college football team from McPherson, Kansas, called McPherson College, and we used to go down there. It's in the, not far from Hutchinson, and in the southeast part of the state, down in the corner near the Oklahoma border. And boy, you get down in there, it's a long way between people. There are more cows on the grazing range and oil wells down in there and wheat than there are people.
Ball is in the air, and we are underway with the 1996 National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Men's Basketball National Tournament. Penn Valley with the basketball as they work to the right-hand side. Pitts will drop it off down in the corner to Green. Green with a push inside to Harris. Harris dumps down low, back to Green, and the shot won't go. Harris on the putback, and the bucket is good. Chris Harris has the first 2 points of the ball game, and Central will move the ball up the floor in a hurry. Bedford on the drive, dumps down low, and the bucket is good by Dusty Walker. He's got his first 2 points of the ball game.
Scott, these teams are extremely quick.
In their red traveling uniforms, Penn Valley into the forecourt to the left-hand side. Green holds and now gives up top to West. West looks down in the corner, can't find anybody. Now cross court's right-hand side to Pitts. Pitts looking inside, gives down to Green. Green fights his way, now kicks back to Pitts. Pitts with a drive in the paint, shot off the back of the iron, and it won't go on. The rebound picked up by Penn Valley. On the give up top, West. Fires down in the corner to Ray. Ray works his way up top to Pitts. Pitts will orchestrate the offense to the right-hand side. On the drive, baseline, Harris, nice spin move, and the shot won't go, but he's fouled, and he'll head to the line where he'll have 2 opportunities. And this foul is going to be the first against Central College, and it's going to be on James Nelson.
When we watched yesterday, Penn Valley, when they practiced, they spent almost all of their hour working on their offense against the zone and the man-to-man, and we watched how much movement they had, and that's what Coach Pullman just continued to preach, and they've had a lot of movement today in the first 2 minutes.
And the first free throw is no good for Harris. He has the Scouts' only 2 points of the ball game. The Tigers also countered with 2 by Dusty Walker, and we're knotted up with 18:48 left to go here in the first half. And the second free throw is on the way. This one is up, off the back of the rim, and it won't go. And the rebound is going to be picked up by Nelson. Nelson pushes the ball up the floor. Beautiful pass inside the length of the floor. The bucket is good, and Oliver is going to be fouled.
Great pass coming up floor from Bedford. He was back at halfway between the 10-second line and the circle, spotted a man under the basket and threw on the run. If those old-time Danville people remember Rick Christian, he used to throw touchdown passes like that, not having his feet planted, just throwing on the run, and boy, he hit the target right under the basket.
The foul is going to be issued to Steve Ray. That is his first and the team's first. And now with an opportunity for the hoop and the hack, Mark Oliver at the line with the old-fashioned three-point play attempt. This free throw is up and good. He's got 3. And with that, a 3-point lead for Central. Up the floor, Penn Valley pushes to the top of the key. West looks to the right-hand side. Almost got caught on the double dribble. Outside near the free throw line extension, dribbles up top and kicks off to the left-hand side. Pitts. Back to the top it comes Green. Green is going to find his team in violation, and a foul is going to be whistled underneath the basket.
We talked about all that movement, and that time they caught a moving pick under the basket, kind of reminiscent of Indiana's motion offense. There was a pretty good collision under this east basket.
Dwayne West picks up his first personal foul, the Scouts' second, and Central comes away with a Penn Valley turnover. Off to the left-hand side, the ball in the hands of Oliver. He's going to drive to the baseline. Stops, spins, kicks down low to Nelson. Nelson shot on the way, and it's good. James Nelson with his first 2, and Tigers now lead 7-2. Here's a drive down to the baseline and now back up top. They give to West. Penn Valley with the basketball to the right-hand side. Harris holds out on the wing and feeds upstairs. Pitts, right-hand side to West. Correction, Ray. Now back to the top of the key. They come to Green. Back in the corner to West. He'll fire from 3. It's on the back of the rim, but he gets his own rebound. The putback up down low, and the bucket is good by Ray. Nice dump down low, Bob K, by Dwayne West.
Sure was. Right now, Central's 3 for 3 from the field, 1 for 1 from the foul line, while Penn Valley's 2 for 6 from the field. That makes a little difference.
Bounce to the right-hand side for Dumford. Dumford trying to get it down low, and it's going to be picked off. Stolen away by Penn Valley. Harris with the ball, and he gives to Pitts. Pitts, top of the key into the forecourt. Stops and now brings it back out top. Penn Valley works their way to the east side of the Mary Miller Complex with 17 minutes left to go here in the first half. And a 7-4 Central lead. Pitts with the ball. Kicks out left-hand side, out on the wing. Harris will bring it up in between the circles. Top of the key, free throw line, finds an opening in the paint. Shot blocked away by Nelson, and a rebound by the Tigers. Up the floor they come. Central College into the forecourt, bounce down low on the baseline. Nelson, his shot blocked, picked up inside, and the bucket is good by Walker. That's called being at the right place at the right time. Here's Penn Valley quickly into the forecourt. The ball's knocked loose, and we've got ourselves a foul, and it's going to be a pushing foul underneath, where Mark Oliver tried to clear some room. That'll be his first and Central College's second team foul.
Green for Penn Valley's had 2 blocks, kind of reminiscent of Roy Rogers in Alabama against the Illini the other night. He kind of comes from nowhere. He comes off that blind side and blocks from behind, but he doesn't get the body foul.
Well, he makes his presence known. Here's the inbound. It comes from Ray to Pitts, and the jumper from 16 feet won't go. Rebound inside. Penn Valley's Russell puts it back. Missed it off the front. Dunk is missed, and the ball goes out of bounds and belongs to Central. 3 offensive opportunities that Penn Valley could not capitalize on, including a missed dunk on a rebound attempt. And now the Tigers have an opportunity to extend their 5-point lead. Full-court pressure being applied by Pitts. They get the ball into Bedford. Bedford feeds up the floor to Oliver. Oliver, double team, stops, gives to Bedford. Bedford, top of the key, works right-hand side to Dumford. Back up top to Bedford. 16-11 left to go on a moving clock here in the first half. Bedford gives over in the corner. Oliver from 3, and it's good. Mark Oliver with a 3, and he's got 6.
Central's 5 for 6 from the field right now. One of them is a 3-pointer, and that's pretty good shooting, and that's going to give them that big 12-4 lead.
With 15:53 left to go here in this first half. Pitts up top with the ball for Penn Valley, and we've got 3 seconds called inside and another turnover by the Scouts.
Scott, it's kind of unusual as fast as they're playing and up and down the floor. There's been 1 turnover for each side. I gave that side to Central, and it was a Penn Valley turnover. There's been 1 for each team.
Bedford with the ball off the inbound. Again, has to work one-on-one with Pitts, and we've got some pushing now by Pitts. And Pitts is going to be called for his first. That'll be the team's third. And I think right away the officials are letting the players know you're not going to be able to bump and grind all the way up the floor.
Well, Jim Boehm said last night he's the head of the referees, the commissioner, so to speak, for the tournament. And he said they were going to call the hand checking as they had all year, and they sure called it there early in the game. As you said, sometimes they let that go to the last 3 minutes.
Inbound for Central. Thrown away. Pitts with a steal. On the outlet, feed up the floor, they give to Ray. Ray all the way, and he missed it. Rebound underneath. Putback is good by Darrell Russell, and he's got his first two. 12-6. Penn Valley still trails. Central with the basketball and a lead. Bedford into the forecourt. Kicks down low, picked off by Penn Valley. 2 steals in a row, 2 turnovers in a row, and Ray will give the basketball off to Pitts. Another opportunity for the Scouts to bite into that advantage by Central. Off to the left-hand side they give. In the corner to Harris. Harris looks at it, now gives inside. The layup by Russell, and he missed it, and we've got a foul inside. And that's going to send Penn Valley either to the free throw line, or did it come after the shot?
No, it's got to be a shooting free throw, Scott. I'll tell you something interesting. 5 out of 6 shooting for Central from the field, but they've also all of a sudden had 3 turnovers to 1, and that's kind of evened things up. No, it's not going to be shooting.
Off to the left-hand side, the inbound for Penn Valley comes to Steve Ray. That personal, by the way, was whistled on Dusty Walker. It's his first and the team's third. Quick give inside with the ball is Green, and he gets the bucket. John Green with his first 2 points. 12-8, the lead by Central, but they've turned the ball over twice in a row. Here's a shot by Oliver, in and out from 3, and it won't go. Rebound inside, scrap for and picked up by Penn Valley. On the outlet feed, they give to Pitts. Pitts to the right-hand side of the forecourt. Pulls up, 18-foot jumper is in and out, and it won't go. And the rebound down underneath, knocked out of bounds by the Scouts, and it belongs to Central. First substitute of the ball game comes in with 14:27 left to play, and that gentleman is Chris Martin.
One of the big differences right now, too, is Penn Valley's out-rebounded Central 5-1. Central either shoots and misses it, makes it, or they lose the ball on the rebound.
So Mike Beard, the head coach of Central, makes the first substitution of the ball game. And Martin will touch the ball for the first time for Central. Off to the right-hand side, now comes up top. Bedford on the alley-oop, and the ball was picked off by Penn Valley.
Was that an alley-oop or a shot?
That was an alley-oop.
Okay.
Either that or he has absolutely no arch on his shot whatsoever. Here's a baseline drive, one-handed to reverse. The bucket is good, and a foul. Chris Harris with the dipsy-do got the bucket to roll, and he's going to be fouled as well.
Before the game started, Scott, I put a check on our programs that they hand us. I put a little check mark after Chris Harris because I watched him in practice yesterday, and he certainly was a good player.
And we've got a timeout on the floor. 13:59 left to go here in the first half. 12-10, the lead by Central. You're listening to the National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Men's Basketball National Tournament Radio Network.
That wasn't a very good alley-oop pass.
$13:59 remains in the first half. 12-10, the lead by Central. That lead at one time was up to 8 points, Bob Kay, but some turnovers and missed opportunities let Penn Valley right back in it.
12-4 lead, and they had 2 turnovers, and 2 times they didn't rebound on missed shots. And so when you make 4 mistakes like that, you're going to be behind, or at least caught up with.
Chris Harris, who on a fantastic move, got the bucket, now heads to the line for the old-fashioned three-pointer, and this one is good. Chris Harris now with 5 points, and with a snap of the fingers, it's 12-11. Central with a 1-point advantage and the basketball. Bedford into the forecourt for the white-clad Tigers. They're the designated home team. Their uniforms are trimmed in blue and gold. Bedford up top orchestrating the offense. Looks to the left-hand side, trying to get something going. Inside they throw the ball, and it's again picked off by Penn Valley. Another turnover, and here come the red-clad Scouts. Up top, Pitts to the right-hand side. He looks, now spins away. On the bounce pass, gives the ball up to Harris. Harris, top of the key. Works to the right-hand side, Green. Green on the feet inside, picked off by Bedford. 1-on-3. Central on the coast-to-coast, and the layup is good. Bedford with the bucket, and he's got his first two.
With his size and those two giants following him, I'd have never thought that ball would have gotten in the basket. I thought I saw another block shot coming on the horizon there.
Pitts brings Penn Valley into the forecourt. Here's a three on the way by Taylor, and it's good. John Taylor's got his first 3 points of the ball game, and we're all tied up, and Central threw it away again. Another turnover by Central.
And Central coach Mike Beard is not very happy. He just stomped the floor and sent in 2 substitutes, and the game's gone 7 minutes. I got to say it finally. Mike Beard's from William Jewell College, and I just wanted to see how he'd conduct himself. I'm surprised he stomped his foot. We didn't do that at William Jewell. Okay.
I won't bring up the throwing bat stories. Here's a three on the way by Taylor. No good. And the rebound by Central. Off the board, Isaac brings it up the right-hand side into the forecourt. They head to the east side of the Mary Miller complex. Correctly, to the west side. Now up top they give to Martin. Martin finds an opening, kicks off down low, jumper on the way from the baseline. Good by Nelson. Nelson with 4. Quickly up the floor they give. Harris on the drive to the baseline. Now looks for help. Feeds to Pitts. Pitts at the free throw line. It's going to be pushed off by Isaac and stop. Now they give left-hand side Harris. Harris into the green with a one-hander. He got it to go. Harris with 7 points.
Scott, I really like Harris. He's quick, goes to the basket. He's in there rebounding. He's driving. He's a good basketball player.
You know what? And he uses that one hand shot more as a heads-up than as a style. Here's a shot. Beautiful fade away off the one-hander by Isaac. He's got 2.
Central is 8 for 10 from the field.
It's to the right-hand side. Working one-on-one with Isaac. Kicks off down low, inside to Russell. Russell spins inside, and the bucket is good. Russell from the green paint picks up his 4th point. We're tied at 18. 11:30 left to go. Here's a three on the way for Central. Missed by Martin. Rebound by Penn Valley. Russell didn't have to work too hard for it. Gives it up to Pitts. Pitts, top of the key. The bucket is no good off the front of the rim, and the rebound by Central. On the bounce pass from Moffitt to Isaac. Isaac into the forecourt, across the midcourt stripe. Pulls up, free throw line jumper. He missed it. Rebound, almost lost out of bounds, and they finally do. Whistle it out of play. Nice effort anyway by Russell for Penn Valley, but the ball belonged to Central underneath their own basket.
Mike Beard is still not happy. He was just about in front of us, and he was hollering that last shot was a terrible shot, and you guys aren't going to tell me that was an alley-oop. That was just a bad shot.
Well, and I got to tell you, I agree with you. Central was so patient on offense and did such a nice job with it. Then in a 60-second span, they threw up 3 or 4 shots.
And not good ones at all.
Martin to the left-hand side. Works it for Central to Moffitt. Moffitt on the bounce pass inside and got away from the intended receiver, but is going to be picked up by Nelson. Nelson tries to get it down low. Knocked away by Penn Valley, but Nelson again picks it up. To Isaac, 3 seconds on the shot clock. He'll fire from 3. Missed it. The tip won't go, and Penn Valley gets the ball on the rebound. They push it up the floor. Pitts to the left-hand side of the forecourt on the half-court pass. Now slows down the pace. Gives it on the baseline down low to Howell, and Howell back to Pitts. Inside they work to Russell. Russell's blocked away, and the rebound by Central. Up to the right-hand side. Nice fake by Martin. He'll drive the baseline, double teamed, and we've got a foul. That foul is going to be the first against Montel Jones. It'll be the 4th against Fred Pullman's ball club.
Scott Eisenhower, an interesting development. First 7 minutes of this game was played really well. There was good shooting, 8 for 10 by Central, 8 for 20 for Penn Valley. And in the last 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes, the game has gotten very ragged, and both teams are taking bad shots, bad passes, the turnovers. It's been an interesting development.
Well, and that's come about with the substitution of several players, Bob. You wonder if the mix match has caused some of that. Nearing the halfway point of the first half. Central with the basketball. We're all tied up at 18. With the ball is Martin. Martin off to the right-hand side, gives to Drake. Justin Drake will shoot from above the free throw line. He missed it. Rebound by Penn Valley. On the outlet, we go from Taylor to Pitts. Pitts into the forecourt, bounce pass down low onto the baseline to Williams. Williams had some trouble with the dribble, and he lost it out of bounds, but it was last touched by Bedford. And the ball comes back to Penn Valley over on the right-hand side of the forecourt.
Mike Beard stamped his foot again. Now, William Jewell, bat throwing was okay. Foot stomping was that was not allowed.
9:53 to go in the first half. 18's our score. Penn Valley will inbound in front of the Central bench. They do so on the alley-oop, and it hit the rim. The alley-oop hit the rim on the pass, and the missed pass / offensive effort. It's going to be picked up by Central. Bedford works the ball to the left-hand side and gives to Martin. Martin takes it into the paint. Stops, shoots, scores. That easy for Chris Martin. He's got his first 2 points. A 2-point Central lead. Penn Valley with the push. Up the floor they give to Jones. He'll drive to the baseline and now resets the offense. Back out to the left-hand free throw line extension. Now they give from Williams to Howell and back up top to Taylor. Into the hands of West. And the handoff to Jones. Jones with a couple of dribbles gives it back to West. West will shoot from 3. Got it!
3-point basket for number 10.
Dwayne West with a bucket, and he's got his first 3, and that is the second time of the ball game the Scouts have held a lead. They're up by 1, 21-20. Bedford with the Central ball, and we've got hand checking again. This one's going to be called on Dwayne West. It'll be his second and the team's 5th.
Scott, I'm a little surprised. Some of the body banging that's been going on, and especially on loose balls, and then all of a sudden call a foul like that. That didn't even look like hand checking too much to me. I thought that was just defense.
Well, again, I think, Bob, it goes back to the point of emphasis, and we were told Jim Bain's point of emphasis would be hand checking.
Well, they sure have called it a couple of times early.
Central's going to inbound the ball over on the left-hand side. They do by lobbing in to Jeff Rudd.
That was unusual, Scott. The guy that set the screen to get the ball to Bedford, the guard, he was the open man. They let the screen man go.
Rowe with the ball, back up top. Rudd kicks off right-hand side from Bedford. Back upstairs to Martin, and the jumper is no good, and the rebound by Penn Valley. On the outlet feed, they work it from Jones to Pitts. Pitts, left-hand side. Dumps down low in the corner to Williams. Baseline jumper from 15 won't go, on the rebound by the Tigers, and we've got a foul. And this one's going to be whistled on John Taylor. That'll be his first and the team's 6th. So Central College is in the bonus here in the first half with 8:25 left to go.
Central hit 8 of their first 10 shots now. They've only made 1 of the next 7, so they've cooled off a little bit, but they were behind 8-1 in rebounding. It's now 10-6, so they picked up a few rebounds.
21-20 the score, and the lead belongs to the Central Tigers. Correct me, the Penn Valley Scouts. Central with the basketball as they work it into the forecourt. Left-hand side. Ball comes to Oliver. Oliver holds. Now feeds up top. Martin at the point. Kicks back down low left-hand side to Rowe. Rowe gives. Now back they work from Rudd to Bedford. Bedford with the fake. Gives off. Nice fake by Oliver. He'll pull up and shoot it. Missed from 14 feet out. And the rebound is going to be tracked down by Rowe for Central. On the give inside. They get it down low to Rudd. His shot no good. And Penn Valley with the board. Pitts, right-hand side, Harris. Harris into the paint, knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. It goes to Central.
Boy, there was a defensive play, Scott, because Harris was really on the move, and he reached around behind him and knocked it. That's hard to do when a guy's moving slow, let alone as fast as that guy went by us.
Well, the officials working together, and one of the officials admitted that it was last touched by Central, and Penn Valley gets the ball over on the left-hand side of their forecourt with 7:38 left to go here in this first half. On the left-hand side with the ball is Pitts. Pitts will pull up on the baseline. Missed it off the side of the backboard, and the rebound by Central. On the give up the floor to Martin, one-on-one. The one-handed underneath. He missed it. Penn Valley had the ball, and a foul is going to be called. Yeah, those are the offensive opportunities you hate to miss, Bob, especially when you're down a point.
Come back, if you lose this game by 1 point or you don't get into an overtime, you'll remember that shot right there. But he hurried it because that was like we were talking about 6 minutes ago. 2 big guys were following him, and he rushed his shot, rolled it off the side of the rim.
15 foul against the Central Tigers.
Scott, these two teams are going to start playing a home-and-home series next year. They're only about, maybe 80, 90 miles apart. This would be a good series.
Yeah, when you looked at the brackets, you thought, boy, these two schools are 80 miles apart, had to drive how far with snow in their path just to finally meet each other.
Should have played in Joplin.
Here's the ball to Russell. Russell on the baseline, double team, dumps inside to Green. His shot off the glass and good, and John Green with 4. 23-20, the advantage now belongs to Penn Valley. Here's the give down low for Central. Nelson on the spin, and he got the baseline jumper. He's got 6. 6:48 left to go here in this first half.
When Central slows down, works the ball, they get a pretty good shot. When they get out of kilter, they take some really bad shots.
Pitts running the offense as they work it inside. The ball in and out of the hands of Russell, and it's picked off by Central. They give to Bedford. Bedford into the forecourt. Left-hand side. Jumper on the way from three by Dumford, and it's good. Corey Dumford with a three, and Central is back up by 2. To the right-hand side. Taylor with the ball for Penn Valley. Gives down low to Russell. Russell spins inside, and he missed the shot. Rebound by Central. On the glass was Nelson. To the outlet, Bedford. Bedford bounce pass down low. Rowe had stepped on the out-of-bounds line. Coming up with a pass. And the ball belongs back to Penn Valley. And we've got ourselves a timeout. 6:10 left to go here in the first half. 25-23. The lead by Penn Valley, and it's a 20-second timeout. So we'll keep it here. Let's run down the scoring real quickly, Bob K. Penn Valley, West with 3, Ray with 2, Taylor with 3, Harris with 7, Green with 4, and Russell with 4. For the Tigers, Bedford with 2, Isaac with 2, Dumford with 3, Martin with 2, Walker with 4, Nelson with 6, Oliver with 6.
Have you noticed that Penn Valley's scoring has come to a substantial slowdown when they took Harris out of the game? They caught up to 21-20, got their first lead, and they've scored just 1 basket since then with Harris sitting on the bench. Now he's just come back into the basketball game with 6:10 left to go. Sometimes he doesn't score all the points, but he creates opportunities by his driving and slashing.
Penn Valley with the basketball, and again, it's Pitts at the helm as he works it into the forecourt, up in between the circles. Now dumps off, top of the key to Ray. Ray, left-hand side to Green, and Green traveled. Tell you what, Green's got some big shoes on there, Bob K., and when those move, it's not too hard to see.
No, that's about the truth there. There's a lot of canvas in those shoes.
Bedford has done a nice job working the offense for the Tigers, and he again leads them. Across the green stripe in mid-floor, now to the right-hand side, Dumford. Dumford picked up a 3 a few minutes ago. That gave his team the lead. They continue to work the ball way out near midcourt. Nelson back to Bedford. Bedford on the cross court. It's going to be picked off by Harris. Harris will go one-on-one, spins away from trouble, and the paint of the bucket is good.
That's what we were talking about on Harris. He just creates things when he's in the game.
And we're tied up once more. 25s across the board with 5:18 left to go here in the first half. To the left-hand side. Central works to Oliver. Oliver up top, gives to Rowe. Rowe dribbles right-hand side, dumps to Dumford. Dumford from 16 feet, missed it. Rebound inside by Central. Oliver with a one-handed putback, he doesn't get it. Again, the Central rebound, a missed opportunity inside, but Dumford is fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. This foul is going to be whistled on John Green. It'll be his first.
Both teams now have 11 rebounds here in the first half. Penn Valley was doing a good job about rebounding them early, but they got a little more aggressive on the board down here for Central.
And that is the team's 7th foul. So 1-and-1s will be the option from here on out for Central unless they were in the act of shooting, as they were here. And 2 free throws are on the way. The first one is good for Dumford. He's got 4 points.
The big man for Penn Valley just went out. John Green just went out. He's going to get arrested. 4:59 to go.
And the second one is good as well for Dumford. He's got 5 points. 27-25 Central leads. A full court pass into the hands of Jones. Jones stops on the left-hand side, gives to Pitts up top. Pitts to Harris. Harris on the feed down low. Into the hands of Russell. Russell spins to the outside. Missed the shot of the rebound by Central. On the outlet to Bedford. Bedford to the top. Drives into the lane, and we got another hand check. And this hand check is going to go against the red-clad Scouts. Rolando Pitts, that'll be his second, and the team's 8.
Talking about Scouts, Scott, that's hard to say, Scouts, Scott. There are a lot of them in the crowd, and so far I've seen Rick Samuels from Eastern is here, and the assistant coach at Western who was here during the DACC Thanksgiving tournament, coach from Montana State, coach from Hastings College in Nebraska, and believe me, there are a lot more. That's the 4 that I just recognize right now.
And the first free throw missed off the front of the rim, and the rebound by Penn Valley. Harris on the outlet, gives the ball to West. West to Ray. Ray almost threw it away, but it's going to be picked up by Jones. Jones top of the key, has West wide open in the shot, partially blocked in the rebound by Central. Bedford up the floor. They've got a 4-on-3 break. Bedford kicks in the corner to Oliver. Fakes the three. Up top, Bedford. He'll fire the three. Missed it off the back of the rim, and the rebound goes into the hands of Penn Valley. Nice job that time by West, who chased it down into the corner and then picked it up just before it went out of bounds. He gives to Jones. Back to West. West takes Bedford to the right-hand side and gives to Ray. Ray looks down low. Comes up top. Jones on the bounce pass inside Ray. The turnaround missed off the back of the rim, and the rebound by Central. Bedford is going to be fouled in the backcourt, and that foul is going to be the first on Chris Harris. It'll be the 9th against the team, and I'll tell you what, this B.J. Bedford is everywhere.
He's very quick and he's everywhere. And yesterday when they were practicing, their young gentleman who's sitting down at the end of our bench here has been one of their players, but he's hurt right now. And I said, is he the point guard? And he said yes. And I said, he's really quick. And he said the quickest player that he had ever played against. You know, it's interesting. Central has a lot of guys from Texas playing, and this guy's from Austin, Texas, and that's where the University of Texas is. But I think they got 5 or 6 of their players from Texas. Must play pretty good basketball down there.
Well, Bedford is averaging 6.3 points a ball game, but he has on the year 145 assists. Bob Can, you can assume that's where his biggest strength lies.
Oh, yes. He's the one that threw that full court pass on the run a little while ago that got him a layup.
2 free throws for Bedford. He's got 4 points, and it's a 29-25 lead for Central. 3:30 left to go here in this first half. Up top with the basketball is Jones. Jones off to the right-hand side. Harris with a drive into the paint. Stops, now shoots and scores. Harris with 11 points.
Scott, we're going to pick an all-tournament team. Harris is leading the way right now for me. I don't know. We got a lot more to see.
There's a quick give. Bedford down low. Dumps to Rudd. Rudd holds the basketball. Now feeds to Oliver. Oliver dribbles around to the top. Gives inside to the lane, and he got the bucket. Oliver just kept worming his way in and finally found an opening.
Yeah, he had worked and worked. Look at there.
Harris with a drive, and he gets the bucket. 13 points for Chris Harris.
He's so quick on his first step. That's where he loses his man. No matter how quick the guy is, he's got a great first step.
31-29, Central with the ball and a 2-point lead. 2:35 to go here in the first half. On the give to Bedford. Bedford on the baseline drive. Beautiful dump down low, but we got a charge. A charge on B.J. Bedford. That'll be his first and the team's 6th.
I couldn't see the forest through all the trees, but I'm not too sure the guy from Penn Valley was sat on the floor. That was steady, but that was a great feed by Bedford.
He dumped it down low and had the wide open athlete underneath, but the charge was called, and the ball off the turnover belongs to Penn Valley. Down by a bucket, 31-29 with 2:32 left to go here in the first half.
7 turnovers for Central, 5 for Penn Valley at this point.
West across midcourt for the Scouts to the right-hand side. Looking around, trying to get it started, and does to the top of the key. Jones. Jones right-hand side to Russell. Russell on the lob, down low, gives it to West. His shot is no good, but he traveled anyway. So for Penn Valley, that's turnover number 6.
Scott, I don't know if you noticed there, but Harris flashed into the pivot down low, and that created the opening along the baseline where they got the pass to, because 2 guys fell on Harris.
Bedford into the forecourt. Left-hand side to Oliver. Oliver holds down low, now dribbles around the perimeter, stops outside the paint. He'll pull it up, shoots and scores. He's got 10. Back to a 4-point Central lead. Penn Valley in a hurry up the floor, and the ball was knocked out of bounds by Central. With a hand on it was Jeff Rudd, and the ball belongs to Penn Valley underneath their own. Coming into the lineup for head coach Fred Pullman, Penn Valley's John Taylor.
Central has been really streaky. They made 8 out of 10, then they made 1 out of 10, now they've made 4 out of 9. They either hit or miss.
Here's a give inside, the shot's missed, and Central with the rebound. They clear from Martin to Bedford. He'll take it coast to coast, and the bucket is good. Bedford with 6, and the lead is now 6. Into the lane with the ball. West has it knocked out of his hands, picked off by Bedford. On the lob to Martin. He stops, shoots, missed it. Rebound put back inside is good by Jeff Rudd. And Rudd's got his first 2. And And it's now an 8-point lead for Central College.
So much for my theory that when Harris is in the game, things happen.
And a timeout by Penn Valley. 1:07 left to go here in the first half, and Central leads the Scouts 37-29. You're listening to the National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Men's Basketball National Tournament Radio Network. Underneath a minute left to go here in the first half, and Penn Valley with the basketball. They work it to the top of the key. With it is West. West will fire from three, missed it. Rebound by Central College. On the glass was Rudd. Rudd on the outlet, pushes it up the floor. Now gives to Bedford. Bedford across midcourt. Stops at the top, works to the left. Gives to Oliver. Oliver holds out beyond the perimeter. Now drives close to the baseline. Gives it into the hands of Martin. Martin to the top of the key. Working around. Drives into the green paint. And we've got a pushing foul. A charge against Martin. Boy, to work that hard, Bob Kay, and then just before you shoot, to push off on somebody.
Yeah, I thought at first he might have lost his balance, but I think he just pushed with his left elbow to get the guy off of him so he could get a shot at the at the free throw circle because the time clock was really running down. But that's not a good foul to pick up at 15 seconds.
Off the floor they come. Pitts gives to the left-hand side. Penn Valley with the ball. Taylor down low to Russell, and the hook shot is good. Russell with 6 points. 5 seconds to go in the half. Bedford up the floor, drives into the green paint, shoots on the run, and it's good. The bucket is good by Bedford off the run. He's got 8, and we're at halftime. 39-31, the lead by Central. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. You're listening to the National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Men's Basketball National Tournament Radio Network. Is Corey Dumford. Bedford gets the inbound and he works the ball to the top of the key. Looks off and gives the ball to Dumford, right-hand side on the cross court to Walker. Walker on the lob down low, wide open to the dunk by Nelson. Nelson was wide open on the launching pad and he got it up there.
I don't know what Dusty Walker did in that first half. He's about the biggest guy on the floor, but he didn't play for about 12 minutes. That was when the coach got mad. He's back in to start this half.
Here's a give inside for Penn Valley. Harris with the ball. His shot off the back of the rim. It won't go. Tip won't go. Ball being tracked down in the corner again. Harris comes up with it. Feeds it across court. Three-point jumper on the way, and it's good for Steve Ray.
Looks like there might have been a little pushing and shoving under the basket that time, but the referees let him play.
41-34. 19 minutes left to go here in the first game of the tournament. With the ball, feeds inside, turnaround jumper, up the side of the rim by Nelson, Put back no good, and this time the tip is controlled by Penn Valley. On the outlet to Pitts. Pitts into the forecourt. Cross courts from left to right. Now gives to Ray from 3, and it's good. Back-to-back trays for Steve Ray, and he's got 8.
That's what we talked about. They got to push the ball down the floor. They picked up 6 points in about 20 seconds.
And a quick 20-second timeout being taken by Central College here with 18:40 left to go in the ball game.
This is where that 20-second timeout can really be of an advantage because you don't have to really waste a timeout. But the coach from Central is very quiet right now. Mike Baird is not upset. He's not stomping his foot like he did in the first half. He's just telling them, hey, we got to get back. We got to shut off that good shooter from out in front. We got the lead. Don't panic. He just got to calm them down a little bit, get them back on defense because Penn Valley is going to run now.
Coming up in the next game of this tournament, Naugatuck Valley Community and Technical College will be taking on Owens Community College. 41-37, Central with the ball and the 4-point lead. 18:35 left to go in the game. And Bedford very patient into the forecourt. To the left-hand side, Oliver. Eyes the 3 and he won't take it. Now gives to Nelson. Nelson off the top of the key. On the lob to Walker, and we've got a foul. And this foul is going to go against Penn Valley.
There was a case where Harris just wrote him out of the picture. Harris doesn't think that he had a foul there, but he definitely did. He was lucky he didn't undercut him.
Mark Oliver will inbound and does so. Up top, Nelson. They give inside. Turnaround by Oliver, and the bucket is good. Mark Oliver with 12 points. 43-37, the Central lead. Into the forecourt. Harris with the ball. He falls down, and he traveled. Penn Valley commits another turnover. That's their second here in the second half.
Well, they're trying to push the ball down the floor, and that last time Central just came down, worked the ball around, and here Bedford's just walking the ball down the floor. That's what they got to do. They're going to slow it down a little bit.
Into the forecourt. Bedford runs the offense to the left-hand side. Now gives up top. Dumford to Walker. We've got another push down low. This one's going to be on John Green, and that'll be his second personal foul. It'll be the Scouts' second team foul. That's probably a good thing if you were trying to avoid the easy bucket because there was no question once they got the ball into the hands of Nelson, he was wide open for the dunk.
Central's got their 2 big players in the game at the same time now, and they're really working the high-low post against Penn Valley.
Bedford, top of the key, works it right-hand side to Dumford. Dumford's going to drive the baseline. Triple teamed, he shoots and missed it. Rebound loose on the floor inside, and Penn Valley's going to come away with it. On the board, Green gives up the floor to Pitts. Pitts will take it the length of the floor. It gives to Ray in the corner, and he's going to be fouled, and they're going to call a 3-point shooting foul.
Well, I think it was because he was way back behind the green line. You know, Scott, something's interesting on Penn Valley. They really push the ball down the floor, and get it, but they take 3-pointers after they push it down the floor. They made 2 off the right side. This time came off the left side.
Well, and I got to be honest with you. I think Steve Ray found himself trapped in the corner, couldn't pass, and had to shoot. So what he did was he leaned right in and threw the ball up. It was blocked. He was fouled, and he now goes to the line for 3 free throws. And that's just heads-up play.
Yes, it is. And he's a pretty good shooter. He got the first one. Second one's in the air, and he got it too.
Well, he's trying to complete his 3rd 3-pointer in a row. The first 2 were from outside the arc. This one would come from the tri-set at the charity stripe. This one is good. That's the hardest thing in basketball to do, in my opinion, Bob Kay, is step to the free throw line and knock down 3 in a row, and he did it. Here's a steal by Penn Valley. Pitch, rips it out of the hands of Bedford, gives it up the floor to Harris. High off the glass, he missed it. Rebound by Green, put back is no good. This time the board is knocked to the ground. Harris comes away with it, and he stepped out of bounds before he was able to bounce it off the back of one of his opponents. 43-40, Central with the lead, Penn Valley with the momentum. Bedford trying to stifle the run by the Scouts. Again, they're very patient and deliberate. Into the forecourt. They take it. The coast. The shot by Bedford is good. The one-hander off the glass, and he's got 10.
Would you have thought he got that shot over that 6'8" guy?
No. Ray on the right accepts the pick, fires the three, missed it off the side of the rim, and the rebound by the Tigers. On the outlet to Bedford. Bedford into the forecourt. He'll take it all the way. The layup blocked away, and the ball is going to be picked up by Penn Valley. Up the floor they give to Harris, to Ray, and he overthrew Harris and out of bounds.
That's the fourth turnover for Penn Valley. Two coming on the last two times down the floor. Ball must have gone downtown. They had a hard time finding it.
That was the old two-man weave, and I think they passed it one time too many.
One time too many. They sure did.
Central with the ball. Nelson to Walker. Left-hand side, Bedford. Bedford, free throw line extension. Gives to Oliver. He'll fire from three. Good! Mark Oliver with 15 points. 48-40, and Central's back up by 8, and we got a hand check. This is going to be on Dumford. That'll be his first and the team's second.
For the game, Central's 3 out of 4 from the three-point area. They're pretty good out there at that three-point line. Now nobody wants to take the ball out for Penn Valley.
You can't shoot from there.
Oh, no.
Harris will inbound. Up top where it comes to West. Now to Pitts. Pitts outside the arc. Quick give down low to Harris. One-hander, no good. Rebound ripped away by Dusty Walker. Central. Bedford gives to Dumford. In the paint. He stops, shoots, scores.
That's one of the few times you'll see Central push the ball down the floor. Bedford didn't walk that one up. They came on the fly.
Dumford was 7. And Central leads by 10, 50-40 with 15:45 to go. Here's a one-hand runner by Pitts, and he's going to be fouled on the floor.
That looked like a movie I saw of Dunkirk. There were more guys falling on the floor and flying in different directions there than...
The foul is going to be on Central's B.J. Bedford. That's his second and the team's third. Well, as we mentioned, coming up next here at the Mary Miller Complex, Naugatuck Valley Community and Technical College will be taking on Owens Community College.
Scott, a coach last night, told me that may be the best game of the tournament, the next one coming up.
At the free throw line, Pitts gets the first one to go. He's got his first point of the ball game.
Well, they're 4 for 4 from the line, courtesy of those first 3 on the three-point miss.
And Pitts gets the second one. He's got 2, 50-42, Central with the lead. Bedford into the forecourt, gives to Walker, left-hand side to Nelson. Nelson to Oliver. Oliver outside the arc. At the free throw line, has the ball knocked out of his hands, but Oliver comes up with it. Back to Bedford he gives. Bedford outside the arc. Again, he has the ball knocked out of his hands. He's double-teamed. Fires off to Oliver. He'll shoot from 3. Missed it. Rebound by Nelson. Put back off the glass and no good. Walker with the rebound. He missed it. Tip no good. This time Penn Valley with the rebound after 4 missed offensive opportunities. Rolando Pitts on the give down low. Drops to Russell. Russell holds on the baseline. Looks. Gives to Green. He spins away from the bucket. Missed the shot, but Pitts on the one-hand putback. It's good. Rolando Pitts with a one-handed putback.
Pretty good rebound right there. Good body control because the ball was way to his right side.
50-44. Central with the ball in the lead. 14:45 to go in the game. Off to the right-hand side. Oliver to Walker. Walker, free throw line jumper, missed it. Rebound picked up by Penn Valley. On the outlet to Pitts. Pitts to the right-hand side. At the free throw line, he'll pull up, shoots, missed it. And we got a rebounding foul inside, and that's going to go against John Green. That'll be his third and the team's third.
They're going to have a substitute here because I think on the last rebound down at the far end, I don't know why he didn't come in the game. The referees waved him in twice. I think the big boy is going to go out. He wasn't very happy with his defense. Coach Baird was not happy with the defense. There's an interesting thing as they take out the big player for Central. Green goes out for Penn Valley. They may be going to rest both big guys while they're out of the game. What do you do in that case, Scott? If the other team takes out the big guy, do you leave yours in and hope he can capitalize, or do you rest him?
I think you better rest him, too. Top of the key, right-hand side. You give it to Martin. Martin drives to the top of the key on the bounce pass to Bedford. On the alley-oop down low to Nelson. He missed it. Rebound by Walker. The putback no good. This time the ball controlled by Penn Valley, and we've got a foul. And I think this foul is going to be against Penn Valley. They're talking to Brett Howell. And Brett Howell is going to pick up the personal foul. That'll be his first, and it'll be the fourth against Penn Valley.
We got a lot of volunteers in this tournament. We need one more guy to count at the knockdowns. We need somebody counting at the knockdowns.
There have been bodies all over this place, reminiscent of a Die Hard movie.
And I hope when Dusty Walker goes down, it's not right here in front of us.
Off the give for Central to Gabe Isaac. Again, Baird continues to substitute. Gives to Walker. Up top, Isaac. Isaac drives to the baseline. Kicks off down low. Baseline jumper. Good by Chris Martin, and he's got 4. 52-44. Central with the lead. Penn Valley ball. Pitts into the forecourt. Top of the key. Rolls to the right-hand side. Gives off to the right. Here's a jumper in the corner, and another foul. It's going to send Steve Ray to the line to shoot 3.
There wasn't any doubt on that foul. The last time, Scott, you said he might have been in trouble and was just going to throw it up. He went up for a left-handed shot, and the guy just grabbed his arm and pulled it down. There wasn't any doubt on that foul, and he is coming out.
Now Mike Baird talks to Mark Oliver, who just committed his 3rd personal foul, the team's 4th, and now Steve Ray goes to the line. He's got 11 points, including 3 threes in a row, 2 from outside the arc and 1 coming on 3 free throws. He'll have another opportunity for 3 free throws, and he knocks this one home. He's got 12.
That may be a tournament record. 4 3-pointers in 1 half. Of course, a couple of them were a little different.
Yeah, we'll have to check with our chief statistician, Fowler Cannell, on whether or not you consider those threes.
Fowler will have an answer.
He's got 2 out of the 3, and this one is also good. He knocks down all 3 in a row. He's got 14 points.
Could not jinx him, could we?
Here's a give to Walker for Central. They still lead by 5. And Walker double dribbled. He dribbled once and forgot he had done that.
Yeah, that's a case of a 6'8" guy out in front between the 2 circles handling the ball. I don't think that's where, no, Coach Baird isn't very happy. That's not where he wanted him.
So another Central turnover gives the ball to Penn Valley. Pitts enters the forecourt across the state of Illinois emblem at mid-floor. Dumps it off to Taylor. Taylor on the left-hand side. Spinning away from trouble. Gives to Russell. Russell back to Taylor. Fires the 3. Good!
3-point basket by number 32, John Taylor.
Jim Taylor with a 3. He's got 6 and a timeout by Central. 13:09 left to go here in the ball game, and Central clings to a 2-point 52-50 lead over Penn Valley. You're listening to the National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Men's Basketball National Tournament Radio Network. Eight-point lead and lost it, Bob.
Well, we talked about going in spurts. They were 5 of their first 10 shots this half. Now they're 1 for 7.
Central with the ball. Isaac gives to Martin. Martin on the right-hand side. Bounce pass to Isaac. Down in the left-hand corner to Moffitt. Moffitt to Nelson to Moffitt. Up top. Jumper on the way by Martin from 3, and he missed it. Rebound by Walker, and he's going to be fouled. And that foul is going to come against Howell. It'll be Brett Howell's 2nd and the team's 5th.
I'll say one thing for Big Dusty Walker. He's gotten some rebounds. Boy, they club him under there. They're not afraid to pick on him.
Look up his stats and see what he is at the charity stripe. Maybe they found something in the scouting report that says send him to the line.
He's 6'8", 230, and when I watched him practice yesterday, I told Jeannie Cook, Danville tourism director, we were sitting here watching it, and he hit that free throw, that he did not have a very good touch. He wasn't a very good shooter from the field, but he sure put that free throw right in the center.
Tell you what, he shoots 78% from the line. He's got them both. He's got 6 points. And full court pressure now for the Tigers. Penn Valley in the backcourt. Pitts working one-on-one with Moffitt. Pitts into the forecourt. Finally did break the timeline, and Moffitt's really working it. Pushes him off to the left. And finally a hand check on Moffitt.
Tell you, Scott, right here to our right, there was a hand check. They crossed the timeline, there was one, and then when he got down near the basket, they finally called it. I was surprised he got away with the first two.
I was too, because they've been very strict on that, as we've talked throughout the course of the game.
And the referee was right with him.
Pitts with the basketball in between the circles. Off to the left-hand side, he gets a pick to the baseline. He pulls up, now dishes to Taylor. Taylor on the lob inside to Russell. His fadeaway blocked, and the rebound by Central. With the basketball, Walker tried to hand it off to Isaac and almost threw it away. Isaac gets it across the timeline into the forecourt. 12 minutes to go in the game, 54-50. Central with the ball in the lead. Here's Martin on the give in the corner. A jumper on the way from three, missed by Isaac, and the rebound by Penn Valley. Russell hands to Pitts. Getting a decent crowd slowly moving into Mary Miller Gymnasium. As Pitts works it to the left-hand side. Drops down low to Russell. Russell lost the handle on the baseline. Out of bounds it goes, and they give it to Central.
Well, I don't know. The big boy there, Dusty Walker, pushed him out of bounds, and he thought he got pushed out of bounds, but maybe there was just incidental contact there.
And Central again with an opportunity to increase their advantage. Cross midcourt, off to the left-hand side. A quick give into Nelson. Nelson on the bounce pass to Walker, and he's fouled.
Another pretty good foul on Walker. He's taken a beating, and this is not the guy you want to put at the foul line. As Scott said, he's shooting 78%. He's 2 for 2 right now, and boy, both the first two he made were dead center, right in the middle of the basket.
Well, Taylor picks up his second personal. It's the team's sixth, and that means for the rest of this ball game, the Tigers are in the bonus. And again, Walker knocks down a free throw. He's got 7 points. Nelson with 8, Rudd with 2, Oliver with 15, Martin with 4, Dunford with 7, Isaac with 2, Bedford with 10, and we've got a lane violation.
Somebody must have been standing on the line, or I really didn't see anybody move in very quickly. Central has played about the last 3 minutes with Bedford on the bench, and they still maintained a 5-point lead.
55-50. Penn Valley with the ball across the timeline and to the left. Gets the pick and now rolls off of it, but can't find anything offensively open. Up top to Taylor. Taylor holds, now gives. Left-hand side to Howell. Howell inside. They give the ball to Russell, and he traveled. He went up for the shot. The shot was going to be blocked, so he just dropped the ball at his feet and then picked it up.
Well, he was smart to do that, everything except when he picked it up. If he'd have just left it lying there, lying on the floor, he'd have been all right. Somebody else had to run and get it, but he thought quickly.
For our local station, WDAN Radio, we are going to be breaking away in about 15 minutes, where the University of Illinois will officially announce a brand new head coach. Here's a quick give on the cross court. Isaac with the basketball, drops it down low where it goes into the hands of Rowe. Rowe on the feed inside to Walker, and the layup is missed. Rebound knocked around, and a foul is going to be called, and this time Dusty Walker will be the recipient of that foul.
Well, he's been down underneath. He puts the ball off the backboard very hard. He was doing it yesterday in practice. He gets a lot of rebounds, but boy, he bangs the ball off the board when he shoots it up there. He doesn't have that good soft touch underneath quite yet. Coach Mike Baird thought that he had been grabbed by the wrist.
And the inbound. Taylor brings it in on the bounce pass to Harris. Harris to Taylor. Taylor into the forecourt to the left-hand side, and another hand check call, this one on Gabe Isaac.
Scott, Central is now 1 for 10 after they started off 5 for 10 in this half, and they still maintain a 5-point lead. They've been 1 for 10 with Bedford on the bench, and also one of their big players went out. James Nelson is out sitting, so they've maintained the lead under some hard times.
Well, it'll be interesting to talk to Jim Bain later on in the day and see, with the hand checking being a point of emphasis, whether or not he's been happy with the number of hand checking calls that were made in this one.
Well, I guess he would be. He also said last night they weren't going to, for the coaches to kind of monitor the shirt tail rule, and they weren't going to stand for any taunting or of the officials. I haven't seen any of that.
Both free throws are good, and the Tigers with the basketball, up the floor they come. Isaac on a give inside, and the layup is good by Brian Moffitt, and he's got his first two. 55-52, Central with the lead. 10:20 left to go here in the game. Pitts brings Penn Valley into the forecourt. Looks to the right-hand side. Now gives down low to Taylor. Taylor on the bounce pass. Has a kicked out of bounds by Martin, and now substitutes for Mike Baird's ball club. Coming in will be Justin Drake and Mark Oliver.
Big boy's going to get a rest.
And Brian Moffitt both come out.
Walker's going to get a rest. He played 10 minutes out of that, the first 10 minutes of the second half after he sat a lot of the first half. And Bedford comes back in the ball game. And I'll tell you, Scott, Gabe Isaac played pretty well. He gave Bedford a real rest. He didn't score, but he brought the ball up floor real well.
Here's the inbound where it comes up top to Pitts. Pitts dribbles out in between the circles. Now down onto the right. They throw it inside. It's knocked out of bounds. 57-52. Central out on top. And inbounding underneath will be Chris Harris for the Scouts.
I'll bet you Chris Harris will be the open guy after the inbounds pass. Before it's all over, he'll work himself free.
Here's a bounce pass to Pitts. Pitts stops, now looks, gives up top to West. West in between the circles, left-hand side to Green, inside to Harris. Beautiful pass down low to Pitts, but he missed the shot. Rebound, tapped out, and picked up by Central. Great hustle that time by Bedford. 57-52, Central leads. Up top with it. Bedford on the drive to the free throw line. Kicks to Oliver. Oliver holds down on the wing. Gives upstairs to Martin and around the perimeter. Bedford trying to feed inside to Oliver, but it's batted right back. Now in Oliver they go. Back outside and a three-pointer on the way. Missed by Landon Rowan. Here comes Penn Valley on the rebound. West on the bounce pass. Gives down low. Taylor with a scoop shot, and the bucket is good. John Taylor with 8 points, and that's the first time I think he shot inside the arc.
I think so. He's not sure he was where he was either. He was kind of flying toward the out-of-bounds line.
Left-hand side, Tigers with the ball, and we've got a foul away from it. And this is going to go against Central. Justin Drake is going to pick up his first, and it'll be Central's 8th team foul.
Now, number 55, Justin Drake is first.
And WDAN will be airing that live. Here's a missed free throw opportunity for Penn Valley.
That's the first miss of a free throw this half by either team. They'd made 13 in a row.
Shot on the run, no good, and the Scouts with the rebound. Up the floor they give to Pitts. Pitts across the timeline. Left-hand side they dump. Down in the corner from West to Taylor. Up top Pitts. Pitts on the drive, blocked away by Nelson. And done so with authority.
In the second half, Penn Valley had made 8 straight. Central made 5 straight at the foul line, 13 straight free throws. And the big boy didn't get much of a rest, Scott. Here comes Dusty Walker back in the game. He got about a 2-minute, well, maybe 3-minute, because there was a timeout in there too. 2 minutes out of the game and a minute for the timeout.
And he replaces Landon Rowe. 57-54, a 3-point ball game. Central leads, Penn Valley with the ball. West gives to Taylor. Taylor's going to drive all the way out near the green State of Illinois emblem at mid-floor. Now takes it into the paint, kicks off in the corner to Green, and the bucket is good.
Interesting move there. I'm not too sure there wasn't steps along the way because he went up in the air. I thought he was going to shoot, and he landed and passed off.
He looked like somebody had him on strings, a little puppet just bouncing around out there. 57-56. Central with the lead in the ball.
While we got a minute, the Owens Tech team was sitting here. They've sat through almost 2/3 of this game, and they just got up and left. Scott, do you believe in bringing a team that early and letting them sit and watch, or do you bring them in late?
I don't believe in letting a team watch their opponents play at all. Up top, Bedford with the ball to the left-hand side. Gives inside to Nelson. Up top to Dunford from 3. Off the back of the rim, and he missed it. Rebound kicked around and picked up by Penn Valley. To the right-hand side, and we've got a foul. That foul is going to go against Corey Dumford. It'll be his second. And Penn Valley will head to the line where they're going to shoot 1 and 1s.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that you just sit in the gym. You get tired, you watch the game, you see some bad habits, you think, well, we can beat these guys, and you forget about the game you're playing that's going to be the next game. I just don't see much advantage of that.
Yeah, and the first thing out of your mouth, I think, is one of the more important ones. When you lounge around in the seats here watching a basketball game, you're pretty kicked back, you're pretty relaxed. It's going to take an extra 15 minutes to get that body up and moving and ready to go again.
I think you come out of the motel and come here, right before the game, you've got your edge. You sit here and watch a game for 2/3 of it, you lose the edge.
The first free throw was good for Harris. The second one was no good. It was knocked out of bounds. And the ball is going to belong to Penn Valley. Now that we're tied at 57s, the Scouts have an opportunity to take the lead.
I don't know who's going to lose their voice first. I hope it's not Scott Eisner, but the coach, Mike Bear, down here from Central, has just about lost his voice.
Here's the inbound. It comes to Taylor. He'll fire from 3. Missed it. And the rebound is going to be picked up by Pitts. Penn Valley maintains control with the basketball. We are getting set to break away for our local station, WDAN Radio. They have to break away for University of Illinois play. We'll give them an opportunity to do that. 7:20 left to play here in the ball game, and this one is all tied up at 57s until Chris Harris knocked in that one. He's got 16. Let's break away for WDAN's coverage of the University of Illinois press conference. For the rest of the network, we will continue our play-by-play coverage. 7 minutes left to go on the clock. The Tigers with the basketball. On the left-hand side, they're having some trouble with it. Bedford is going to pick it up. Now dumps it off to Dumford. Dumford gives, and we've got a foul, and that foul is going to come on Dumford. With his third personal foul, that is going to be 10 against Central.
There was about 30 seconds of wild passes right there. I want to see that on the instant replay. Neither team had control of the ball, and neither team, they just kept passing it back and forth with bad passes. That's what gets you. Somebody eventually is going to get a reaching in or a pushing foul.
59-57. Penn Valley with the lead. 6:52 left to go here in the ball game. And at the free throw line is Dwayne West with an opportunity to extend that advantage.
They've made 9 out of 11 free throws. They've taken a 2-point lead, and the free throw shooting has helped bring them back into this ball game.
Tell you what is an interesting look at the scorebook, Bob K, is the players that were effective for Penn Valley in the first half have been silent in the second, and vice versa. Steve Ray had 2 points in the first half. He's had 12 in the second half. Rolando Pitts, who didn't score at all in the first half, has 6. Chris Harris, on the other hand, had 13 points in the first half and 3 here in the second half. That free throw is good, and there's a 20-second timeout Penn Valley's going to take with 6:52 left to go here in this contest. And Penn Valley, Bob, 60-57. Central trails off to the left-hand side. They give the ball down low. Oliver with it. Holds down in the corner. Now feeds back up top where it comes to Dumford. Dumford to the left-hand side. Pulls up, shoots, missed it outside the paint, and the rebound by Penn Valley. On the outlet feed they give. From Harris to Pitts, and Pitts slowly into the forecourt. Across the midcourt stripe to the left-hand side. Pitts gives to West. West back up top, Pitts. Let's see if they try to monopolize the clock a little bit here, Bob K. Pitts goes into the paint, and he traveled, but was he fouled first? I think they're going to say he was fouled first. There's no question he traveled. Now it's whether or not he fouled first.
I'd say he was. At least that's what this referee thinks.
Corey Dumford, therefore, picks up his 4th personal foul, and that is the team's 10th.
Well, at 6:04, you about got to let him play the rest of the way now. You take him out for a minute or two, and you got to put him back in eventually. So I think they're going to just take a gamble and let him play.
Pitts, 6 points here in the second half, and he's about to shoot to add to that. His free throw is up, and it is no good off the back of the rim. Well, Mike Beard was trying to get a question answered by one of the officials, and the official ignored him.
I think I'd do a little more talking.
Next free throw is good.
He's going to get an answer right now, Scott.
And coming into the lineup will be Gabe Isaac. And now, indeed, the official will go down and talk to Mike Beard, and he'll at least get his question answered. Coming out of the lineup was B.J. Bedford. 61-57. The advantage belongs to Penn Valley. Central College to the left-hand side of the forecourt. They worked Oliver down low. Quick feed from Walker, intended inside for Nelson, picked off by Taylor. Penn Valley with the ball and up the floor they work.
Third turnover for Central, and this is a bad time to start making turnovers.
Pitts with the basketball. They're trying to extend their lead. The Scouts are holding their largest lead of the afternoon at 4 points. Inside they give. Here's a spin. They drop down low, and we've got a whistle, a travel down low for Penn Valley's John Green.
I didn't know about the travel, but I think Harris was in there maybe for a 3-second violation because he got in, worked around, couldn't get the shot around Walker, moved another way, and then made the good pass. Then he stayed after he made the pass, so he was camped in there.
5:25 left to go here in the ball game. 61-57. Top of the key, and the ball is going to be picked up by Pitts. Coast to coast, one-on-one. The layup by Pitts is good. He's got 9 points. And again, Mike Beard wants a timeout. 63-57, the lead. Oliver inside Nelson. Nelson will pull up, shoots outside the paint, and the bucket is good. Nelson with 10.
We talked about streaks, Scott. Central is now 3 for 15 in their last 15 shots. 3 for 15. That's where they lost the lead.
Off to the right-hand side. Penn Valley with the ball, trying to capitalize on their lead. West gives to Pitts. Pitts, right-hand side to Harris. Shot clock down to 15. They give to Green. Right-hand side, Taylor. Taylor at the free throw line extension. Now to Pitts. Shot clock at 10. 4:30 to go on the game clock. Here's a shot attempt, blocked away and loose on the floor. It's going to be picked up by Central. With the give, Oliver to Nelson. Inside to Dumford, and there's going to be a foul on the shot. Well, they worked the shot clock down to 10, and then Pitts took a three-point attempt that was blocked and came up way short. Oliver was able to come away with a rebound and push the ball up the floor, and while they weren't able to get direct points, Dumford does head to the free throw line for an opportunity at 2.
Well, when you're behind 4, he's got a chance to pick up 2 points here while the clock stopped, and you'll take 2 any way you can get them.
And Dumford trying to add to a 7-point total. At the line, the first one is up and good. Dumford with 8 points. Other scores, Bedford with 10, Isaac with 2, Martin with 4, Moffitt with 2, Walker with 7, Nelson with 10, Rudd with 2, and Oliver with 15. Next one on the way, this one is good. Dumford with 9 points. 63-61, the advantage belonging to Penn Valley with the basketball. They work it up the floor. Rolando Pitts brings it across midcourt to the right-hand side. Looking for a pick, and he can't get one, Bob Kay.
They're going to try to get the ball to Harris coming off of a pick.
They do, and now he'll dish to Taylor. Inside they come to Russell. Russell stops, fakes, shoots, blocked away. Picked up by Central. Dumford with the basketball up the floor, across the timeline, into the forecourt to Isaac upstairs. Isaac with 3:51 left to go here in the game. Takes it into the green paint, pulls up, shoots, rolls around, missed. Rebound put back good by Nelson. And Nelson has tied it up. He's got 12.
Nelson's another 6'8" player, but he's only at 180, where Walker's at 230. But the other guy's a great jumper.
Here's a give up top to Taylor. Taylor with the basketball. Back into the left-hand corner. They work. Down low, and it's picked off by Central. Dusty Walker with the steal.
He threw that ball right to Dusty Walker. There wasn't any chance in the world he'd miss it.
To Isaac, to Dumford, and we've got a blocking foul down underneath. Well, 40 minutes is a long time for basketball, Bob Kay, and we have seen this momentum go back and forth and back and forth. Really, there hasn't been a great deal of substitution in the second half. There was quite a bit in the first half when the two coaches were upset at the play. But here in the second half, I think it's going to be a battle of stamina.
Well, and Central, as we said, they were 2 for 15, and now all of a sudden they're 2 for 3, and they've made 2 free throws. Central is the streakiest team I think I've ever seen shooting.
The free throw by Dumford is good. Corey Dumford with 10 points.
They're 6 for 6 from the foul line. Now they've gone back in the lead with 2 baskets and 3 free throws in the last probably minute and 18 seconds.
And for Central, Bedford with 10, Isaac with 2, Martin with 4, Moffitt with 2, Walker with 7, Nelson with 12, Rudd with 2, Oliver with 15, and Dumford trying to add to his 10. And give his team a 2-point lead. He does both. He's got 11 points on the made free throw. 65-63. Central leads. Penn Valley with the ball. 3:12 left to go here in the ball game. Harris gives right-hand side on the bounce pass Taylor. Taylor down low. Inside to Green. Green can't come up with a handle on the basketball. Jump ball. The call of the possession arrow belongs to Penn Valley.
I think that's the first jump ball we've had today.
I was about to make the exact same comment. You were right.
Well, you and I are watching the same game, I guess.
Coming into the lineup is Brett Howell. Howell will check in. Penn Valley will inbound the ball underneath their own bucket. 3:01 left to go in the game. 65-63, the lead by Central. And the red-clad Scouts almost throw it away. Pitts trying to save it, and he does. To Howell. Back to Pitts. Down low they come to Russell. Russell fighting his way inside. Gives on a moving feed to Howell. Cutting across, and Howell was going to be fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. A nice job in finding Howell breaking back door, Bob Kay.
He came off the pass that started off the right-hand side, which almost went out of bounds in the far right-hand side. And all of a sudden, Howell came out of the left-hand corner. They caught him on that blind side. That the great pass to seam there.
The free throw by Howell is good. He's got the first one, and that's his first point of the ball game. Harris with 16, Green with 6, Russell with 6, Pitts with 9, Taylor with 8, Ray with 14, and West with 4. Next one on the way. This one is up, and it is no good. Off the side of the rim, battle inside for the rebound. Penn Valley comes away with it, and the putback is good for Russell. He's got 8. 66-65, Penn Valley up by 1. Off to the right-hand side. The Tigers work the ball to Dumford. Dumford on the wing, drives to the baseline. Stops, spins, shoots, missed it. Rebound inside by Penn Valley. An opportunity to increase on their lead, and Mike Baird wasn't happy with that shot either.
Wasn't a very good shot. Spinning, twisting, turning, and he was on the baseline to boot. Had to negotiate the bank board. Just wasn't a good shot selection.
Hit to the right-hand side, Harris. Harris holds to the free throw line extension inside to Russell. Russell kicks off right into the hands of Oliver, and another turnover by Penn Valley.
Eighth turnover this half for Penn Valley.
Up top with the basketball is Isaac. Isaac, top of the key, works into the right-hand side. On the right-hand side, they give to Nelson. Back up top, Dumford. Dumford on the cross court, picked off. Stolen away by Harris on the drive, 1-on-2, and he got the coast-to-coast layup.
You just can't do that. He threw the clear cross-court pass. He was about 8 feet in front of us. He threw it clear to the far sideline. You or I might have gotten to that one.
Off to the left-hand side, Isaac with the ball. Isaac gives on the handoff to Oliver. Cross-court feed to Isaac. Down low to Walker. Baseline jumper, good.
Well, they threw another cross-court pass. Maybe that's part of their offense.
68-67, a 1-point lead for Penn Valley. $1:20 left to go in the game. Into the forecourt, Pitts, top of the key. Rolls to the left-hand side, out beyond the arc. Looking for some help. Clock at 1:08. On the handoff to Taylor. Taylor inside to Russell. Russell spins to the outside and now hands off. Gives to Taylor. Taylor shot blocked away by Nelson. Picked up by Oliver, and Central has the ball. Underneath a minute to go in the game, and Central is down by a point, 68-67. Now Mike Beard is trying to direct traffic from the coaching spot on the baseline. They give now inside to Dumford, and he's going to be fouled by Brett Howell, and Howell will pick up his 3rd, the team's 10th, and that'll send Central to the line to shoot 2.
That's the same move Howell made a little while ago when he went to the baseline, but that time they cut him off, and he had to take a spinning, twisting jump shot. This time, he beat his man to the baseline and got the foul. He's going to get a chance to give him the lead right here.
43 seconds left to go here in the game.
Scott, Penn Valley shot 18 free throws this second half, and Central has only shot 7. But of those 7, they've made all 7.
Penn Valley wants a timeout. 6 In fact, Penn Valley's going to take another timeout. Same status.
Scott Corey Dumford's played a lot this second half in place of Bedford. Bedford played awfully well that first half.
Well, it was a 1-and-1, and he missed the front end of the 1-and-1, and Penn Valley with the rebound.
Maybe those 2 timeouts did ice him.
Well, there's a 7-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock, so Penn Valley is going to have to shoot. 20 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Pitts with the ball, left-hand side, bounces it down low. Russell takes it into the paint, stops, shoots, scores, and he's going to be fouled. What a big play for Penn Valley.
Well, Scott, I don't know, but if I think with a 3-point lead, I think I'd have fouled a lot sooner. They got the ball. There was like 25, 30 seconds. If they make them both, you still got time to come down and make a 3-pointer or shoot and get fouled. They waited a long time to foul a guy. Now they're down to 21 seconds, and we're going to get another timeout.
21 seconds. Now that'll send him to the line for the old-fashioned 3-point play, and Bob Kay, if he makes it, it's a 2-possession lead.
Yes, it is, and Frankie Roos and I were just sitting here talking. I think when the free throws miss, so now we're going to go ahead, Scott.
Central with the rebound on the missed free throw, 70-67. Isaac into the forecourt, stops, gives up top Nelson. Right-hand side, Dumford. Dumford with the ball, they give to Oliver, he shoots the 3, good! The three-pointer is good by Oliver. He's got 18 points. Up the floor comes Penn Valley, 4 seconds left. Pitts hits it. Pitts hit the bucket with 4 seconds left. The shot at the buzzer. And this one is over. Pitts hit the bucket. Pitts hit the bucket. And Mike Beard is upset, feeling that the clock did not stop after the basket. Mike Beard felt the clock did not stop after the bucket. The officials have left the floor, and that's who he would have to make his protest to. Pitts with the bucket with 4 seconds left to go in the game, and Penn Valley comes away a winner, 72-70. And what a big bucket on the putback by Rolando Pitts. We need to take a quick 1-minute break. Let's do that, and we'll come back and talk to Fred Pullman, the head coach of the Scouts. You're listening to the National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Men's Basketball National Tournament Radio Network.